If you grab your 1942 bottle, the label should say añejo, not anejo or anijo, añejo. It's called añejo. So what is an añejo tequila? Take a blanco tequila, fresh from the still, put it into an oak barrel, wait for at least a year, and voila, we have our tequila. Can it be that Don Julio has two expressions of añejo in its selection? Let's check the brand's website. Look at that, amigo. It seems we got lucky. There is a tequila with the same name. Are they the same tequila though? Not necessarily. Even two añejo tequilas can spend different time in oak barrels. So let's take a look at the age indication. 30 months for the 1942 and 18 months for the añejo. So there is a 12-month age difference between the two tequilas. As you know, the longer a tequila is aged for, the more expensive it gets. This is where you ask, why? Well, first of all, a small percentage of tequila evaporates from the barrel over time. It is a phenomenon we call the angel share. I mean, those poor angels, they too need to have some fun sometimes. Secondly, the money is tied up in tequila, so it takes longer time to sell the product. This is what we call borrowing or financing cost. But the biggest question is, how much money, cash, are we talking about? Let's do the math for a 12-month age difference, shall we? We can work from the difference between the normal reposado, which is aged for 8 months, and añejo, aged for 18 months. Don Julio añejo is at $65 and Don Julio reposado is at $54. 65 minus 54 equals 11. This is the extra charge for 10 months. By multiplying it by 1.2, we get the aging for 12 months, which is $13.2. So a bottle of 1942 priced fairly based on the aging difference should cost 65 plus 13.2 equals $78 rounded. Have you ever seen a 1942 for $78? Yeah, probably not. Not in this lifetime. This tequila at the same store costs a whopping $165. This means you can buy 165 divided by 78 equals 2.11, which is exactly 2 rounded. So you're getting twice the value for your money if you buy Don Julio Añejo instead of the 1942. 2 for 1, 1 for 2. And if you stay with me, I'll show you another hidden Don Julio 2-for-1 deal. But before we get there, you're probably wondering why this huge price gap exists in the first place. You see, I have been doing tequila tastings as sommelier, and my guests have been constantly asking me my opinion about the famous 1942. And when they do, I share with them the following marketing secret, what we call consumer segmentation. Consumer segmentation. Fancy words, I know, stay with me. Builds on 2 things. Number 1, if we don't have enough information about a product, we assume that the price reflects quality. Number 2, not everyone has the same budget when buying things. Some of us want to buy the cheapest product, and it doesn't matter if it's unbranded or has a low brand reputation. Then some are looking to buy the so-called second cheapest. Others want to buy something in mid-range. And then there are those who just simply want to impress others. They go into a bar or a store and say,
"Give me your most expensive stuff."
They don't even care what it is as long as it is expensive. Did you know that even with the cheapest possible production method, diffusers with column stills, you can find tequila brands from the cheapest all the way to high-end? I'm sure you've heard of Costco's Kirkland brand. No branding, generic product sold at the lowest price starting at $15. Next in the line is Tequila Cazadores. Same production method, but prices starting at $24. Then comes Tres Generaciones, the product line starting at $35. And then the pricing crown goes to Casa Dragones. The pricing start at $75, and some of their products are selling at over $1,000. For a tequila that has the same production parameters, it is insane. I mean, good for them. But how can they get away with such high prices? The answer is simple. Most people don't care. They want an easy drink, and it is easier to create a smooth tequila with cheap production methods. Some people just want a product that looks cool, but is easy to drink, like water. And you may be surprised to learn that even a bottle of water can cost over $100. So what would you choose for $100? A bottle of tequila or a bottle of water? Now that you have become a pro at consumer segmentation, let's take a look at good old Don Julio's selection. Their normal line ranges from $50 to $65, so the brand is already aiming at consumers who are buying tequila in the mid-price range, so typically not your average college students. Then there is the 1942 and a few similarly priced tequilas from the $90 to $165 range, which is entering the status range. However, they also have tequila for those who are looking for the most expensive bottle, the so-called Ultima Reserva, which is selling at $400. Yes, you heard it right, $400. So what's the catch? By now you probably know there likely isn't one, and you are correct. The Ultima Reserva is aged for 36 months, so just half a year more than the 1942. Yes, I know it is fancy. It is aged in special barrels with a special process. Still, for an extra 6 months, it costs a little bit over twice as much as the 1942. So here's your bonus 2-for-1 deal, though I know there is a good chance that Ultima Reserva wasn't your go-to tequila. And remember, it is business. Not everything has to be a value purchase. People buy all sorts of crazy stuff for status or just to look cool. Just look at the car brands like Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, or not to mention the infamous Bugatti. A price for this car is starting at $1 million. You could buy lots of houses for that money or just a single nice and big one. In the same way, some of the most expensive tequilas are sold for several thousands of dollars, and compared to that, even a $400 for a bottle of tequila may seem to be cheap. But remember, there is a price and a tequila for everyone, even if the product is the same quality.